Okay, so we've separated the parts that were had symmetry to them, right? So the eyeball, the arm, the little shoulder blade piece, the socket for the hip, the leg, all that good stuff. So let me just make sure I grab everything again. Everything's been UV mapped, and I made a couple slight alterations. We could always keep going. Could always keep going, but it's good to kind of call this one done for now. So let's grab all the pieces that are symmetrical and combine them together. So I'm grabbing all of these as well as the eyeball. And I think that's everything. I'm going to combine all that. It'll turn green and then bring the pivot down to center. Back into poly modeling. Freeze, delete history. There's a lot of history building up there. So grab the main body here as well. Uh, freeze, delete history. So we can now grab these two pieces. We'll make this symmetrical first. And now we can grab all the pieces. And in the modeling toolkit, we can combine everything together and then bring the pivot down, center of the world, freeze, and delete history. Now, what you have to do is unoverlap all the UVs which are identical between the two sides. So this is the puzzle piece portion I was talking about. It's going to take a minute, but it'll be worth it. We can do professional texture map. We could bring it into Substance Painter, Substance Designer, and do some really killer texture mapping on the character. So we'll go to the UV editing window. And so all the pieces are here. There might be some stragglers. I hope not. Let's see, what are these pieces here? I don't even know. What is that? Oh, I missed the little bottom discs of the, what are those? All the toes? Oh, there's little tiny discs on the bottom of the digits that I missed. Oh, jeez. All right. Base, Control U. Scale them all up. Jeez, what a pain in the neck. Good we found this, I guess. In the alignment, we could, in the arrangement, I should say, we could bring them all together. We can lay them all out together. There we go. So these are all the discs that are a part of the bottom rings of the fingers. Oh, man. The bottom of the fingers and the toes. No, what about these parts here? I'm just wondering. Did I miss all those too? Okay, at least all those are there. Jeez. So one finger at a time, right? I'm gonna grab one finger here. And let's see, is it somewhere else over there? I wonder why it's moving that way. There we go. And then the other finger, grab that one. It's hopping all the way. Oh, it's grabbing the fingers over there. That's why. Yeah. So grab that one. Grab the pinky. This one. The pinky. I suppose we can grab these circles as we go. And yeah, you're going to find a lot of errors when you do this kind of stuff. And that just kind of nature of the beast. You know, this is the, I think it's the hardest part of the process because it requires a tremendous amount of patience. That's the top. For the underside and the bottom underside. Oh, geez, that's why. Okay, so if you look at it from the top-down point of view, see there's the pinky. There's the ring finger, middle finger, and pointer finger. I'm just double-clicking and then going into this UV editor window and then making adjustments. And don't really care. Whoops. Make sure I'm very careful not to stretch. Oop. I thought I was double-clicking. Guess not. Okay, there we go. Double-click. Double-click. And double click, double click, double click, and then there's the other one. Bring that over. Looks like there should be one more here. Where did it go? Oh, I grabbed that one on accident. Okay. And that's the pinky, right? And then there's the thumb. And the thumb comes over. There we go. One should be a little bit bigger, I assume. Got the rings. There we go. And double click. And so there's one hand. Right. And then if you go to the other hand, over here, this one, and we could do the same thing. So you can grab, if we're mirroring, we got to want to be careful that we didn't, the UVs are the right size. So I grab all of the fingers for that side, grab all of these, scale, and go really big with it. You'll be able to see that the UVs are indeed backwards, right? Because we mirrored it. So for that one, we just want to do the flip. Should be right there's the flip. So they're going the right direction now. So we have to remember to do that as well. So get it down to the same scale. We don't want to have different scales. Issues, modify, flip. Cool. And work our way back down. So pinky, let's start with thumb first. So thumb's the bottom. And then let go of the one we don't need. Bring the rings around. So puzzle, right? Pointer finger, bring it down, and puzzle it in. Middle finger. Bring these over. There's definitely a lot of precise packing that goes into this. So, you know, it is what it is. And there's the pinky. Oh, looks like all the toes are in there too. Yeah. So I used the same model for the toes and I just kind of brought it over. So cool. All right, so let's go down here to the feet. So we'll grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be all of the toes, and scoot them over. So we'll know that the fingers are here and the toes are all here, right? And then same thing with the foot. The foot is here. So we'll do left foot, double click, and right foot. Yeah. Okay. This side of the foot, most likely backwards, right? So if we scale way up, we can see the lettering on here is backwards. Yep. No problem. Modify, flip. There we go. So it should be the inverse of each other at the mirror for each of these sides. So that's why I'm kind of lining up that way. And then same thing on the toes. So this side, 1, 2, 3. Bring them over here right now, and let's flip them now while we're thinking about it. And it looks like I kind of arranged them the opposite way from the other side. This is not a big deal. I'll just do this and grab these ones and flip them around 90 degrees also. There we go. Okay, the hip. Be careful. Use Q. Don't use the move tool. You'll mess them up. So here's the other side. Left side, right side. Can we control right click like there is not. Control Shift, flip. There we go. Yes, that's Shift right click to bring up that menu to flip them over. And so there's the hip. So I'll kind of stack these all up, you know, as I go. Here's the cogwheel here. There's the big mofo. It's above the hip cogs, right? So I can grab that whole thing and I can scale it down some more reasonable size. Grab both of these and scale them down to a more reasonable size. We're getting them closer and closer to being all equal size on the checkerboard. Here's the shoulder. Remember, everything that was did a duplicate special should be mirrored over, so I can grab the other side immediately. Shift right click, flip, and bring it over to the side. And kind of keep them close together so we know which one's which. And if you grab partials or everything, control right click to go to the UV shell, and that'll grab everything. So you gotta remember that one as well. There's the arm. So we don't need that side. Shift right click, flip, bring it down or over as you see fit. Double click, raise it up a little. And as I have these mirrored sides, I'm kind of take these bacon strips and kind of align them together so that they kind of kept together as the insides of the cog wheel. These ones here the insides are deeper, longer. These ones are shorter on the side. Go to this shoulder piece. Yep, okay, already mirrored it. That one. Okay, go to the socket. F on the keyboard. Control double click. You can see it does. They're perfectly overlapped. Nothing changed. So take this one, double click. Shift right click, flip, and slide it over. Oops. Control right click to UV shell. That does just that side. Should be good. Shift to UV shell, make sure you get all the pieces. And for this one, definitely we can arrange these inside of the shells. Ooh, there's two there. Oh, whoops, that's down by the leg. Ah, gotta be careful. Okay. Getting ahead of myself a little bit. Let's get the leg out of the way. There's the right leg. Move that over, shift right click, flip. There's the lower leg. And then there's the upper arm. There's one side, there's the lower leg, and there's the upper arm. Cool. Okay, now we can take the like pieces and position them comfortably inside with the model, with the other pieces that go with it, I should say. Not sure what that was all about. And that's the other side of the leg right there. The little yellow rotation handle's not quite as elegant to grab. Turn off checkerboard for now, and you could even turn on mode here. Okay, so let's shoot. That's everything for that leg and everything for the right leg, yes, and everything for the right upper arm and everything for the left upper arm. And continue packing these in based on location on the model. Right. Get them all nice and tight. And leave at least a couple pixels of what's called padding, your padding space in between, so that you don't run across any bleeding areas. You don't want the color of one part of the model to bleed the texture up to cross over and create artifacts in the other. So that's looking pretty organized there. Okay, out of X-ray mode again, go to the lower arm. So there's the left arm. There's the right arm, shift right click, flip, so that it's the opposite, and then lower leg is over here, and then lower left leg's this way, shift right click, flip. There we go. Upper leg. So up here, here's both of the upper legs, and it's the upper arms. So upper legs, let's bring them down over yonder. Bring these over here. Okay. And I can't remember if I flipped these already. Looks like I did. See if we can stack some of these bacon strips. A little bit better. And rotate some of the stuff in tighter. Control right click to shell. Rotate some more. There we go. And then all of this upper leg stuff should be way bigger than, well, no, I'm sorry, no, it's not. Should be correct relative size to the lower leg, right? So scale these up a bit until they're until they feel close at least. All these concentric circles usually work to your advantage, but you got to be careful. It's really easy to grab something on accident and mess it up. There we go. So now I could take this whole mess here, and if I'm not sure that I want to check the UVs or not backwards or reading wrong, looks like they're all correct. So that's good. So I can scale them way down, and then we can start looking at the 0 to 1 space, which is going to be 0 to 1 right here. So Alt B, change the color. There's 0 to 1. And so I can move these kind of close to the actual working space. We're going to shrink everything down to fit in this little space right here. I'm going to turn the checker off again for a moment. There's the lower arm and the other forearm. And there's that leg right there, checking. There's the hip in the central region, so I can kind of bring those up above the leg area, right? That's kind of starting to make sense. And we can pack these in a bit closer. There we go. Over here, this one right here can definitely kind of mirror its other side component, this side here. Let's see, no messages, no messages. Okay, I'm out of here. All right, that is, and these are touching, almost touching, so let's just give everything a little bit of comfortable pixel space, much as you can. To shell, to shell, show for show. There we go. Make sure there's no touching. No touching, no touching. All right, cool. Almost done. Feet. Grab what you need. There's the feets. Bring them over next to each other. Go. Yeah. So grab the feet parts, go selection, or control right click to UV shell. Turn on the checker once more. You can see the feet UVs are a bit bigger than they should be, so we'll make them smaller in proportion to the legs. There we go. That's about right. So you can really eyeball the size of these things. So if I go like this, these are the pieces that I've sized to each other and that I've identified are close to the right size. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink these way down. And then it'll become really obvious, the square proportions to each other. And we want to get it into this 0 to 1 space over here, like that. There we go. Yeah. Double click the torso. Looks like it's perhaps, yeah, about the right size. Okay, that's cool. Grab the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And hit F on the keyboard. There we go. I believe I have not, they're mirrored, but they're not scaled correctly yet. So I'll bring those over to do next. Here's all of the fingers for the palm. Definitely way too big. To double check though that the UVs are the right size, you got to do a quick scale up so you can actually read the lettering. The UVs, the letters are not flipped. So undo that. So we know that they're the right size. So I don't bring them down smaller in size where the squares are big until I'm certain everything's flipped the correct direction. And we'll do the same thing here with the toes. So I'll just real quick scale up. Is that? Yeah, that's backwards. The 3 is this side, right? No bueno. So let's deselect those. Get just this side. Actually, let's double check both of them. So I was just looking at one side, but it could be. Okay, so both of them are flipped the wrong way. So we'll grab the whole thing, shift right click, and flip. There we go. So now they're all facing the, yeah, correct direction. Cool. Okay, and then now we can scale these way down. And closer over here to the 0 to 1 space. Here's where we're working, right in here. Right. And here's our feet. Here's our fingers. Bring them up higher. Okay. Here is the forearm, and here's the other forearm. It's way over there. Okay, so let's keep these together for just a moment. And double checking again that the lettering is correct. Definitely second guess myself a lot. Wait, does the 3 go that direction or not? Start getting cross-eyed doing this stuff. There we go. Get the arms way down. And bring them up by the fingers. And then the upper arm. Upper arms are up here. Pretty certain these are all correct. You can slide them around so you can see the lettering. Clear enough. Yep, looks good. And you can even check if they're upside down or right side up. Sometimes I'll want the lettering right side up as well. go. And then I'll scale these down so that the checker from the lower arm and upper arm are proportionately about right. And bringing these around, just kind of packing them real quick. Grab what I need, control right click to shell. Squeeze some of this stuff in here. Grab what I need, control right click to shell, squeeze them. Move them out of the way. That's looking all right. Yep. Cool. So here's all of the forearms here, and these kind of work side by side with the upper arms. Turn on checker again, and let's grab the whole mess of the upper and lower arms, and let's scale them way down and see how the checkerboard's playing out. Looks like not too bad. It's a big piece there at the elbow. Looks like maybe this piece here. Yeah, looks like that piece might be a little small. So sometimes you got to unoverlap them to give them their own space. So that way, that's going to be a fairly prominent piece right there. Same thing here with these pieces. That's pretty good size. Those are big. And this one here, it's the upper arm. It's pretty good size. Okay, happy enough. I don't want to overkill it too much. Get to the palm. Palm's definitely huge still. There's our palms at. There we go. So there's one palm. Oh, there's the right hand, screen left. There's the left arm. So once we have that, shift, right click, flip. There we go. And bring them in nice and tight. Okay. And let's scale the hands down so they're the right size checkerboard compared to the fingers and forearms. About up there. Cool. And fingers were up here. Here's all the fingers. And looks like they're a bit much still, so we can scale them down some more. Whoop. Sure. Make sure we get every single face on there. You'll see them stretch across if you miss. And then we could also maybe move these so they have a nice tight packing order. We can get them in there tighter. Let's do it. Yeah, not too much. I don't want to spend too much time moving all those little pieces around. We know the left and the right side is pretty good. So this will be, if I deselect those, we know that's the right side. Good, or screen right. Cool. All right, and upper arms there. There we go, and hands are there. That is all of the arms, hands, and fingers in that little mass right there. Okay, so I'll move this over to the side over here. Okay, and all of this is the legs, foot without the toes. Okay, so we just need the toes, which are there. We haven't unoverlapped the toes yet. You see, we're getting to the finish line though. You see the other islands or UV shells are up here, which is great. And so let's unoverlap the toes. So we'll grab one toe at a time. So we'll start off with this side. Whoops, looks like those toes. Over here, let's see if these are backwards or sideways or whatever. Let's see. Are they upside down? No, they're not upside down. Okay, cool. So just deselect that side and bring them over to this side. There we go. Okay. That's better. And start off with the top. So we'll go with the little toe. Bring it up here. And then deselect that, bring the rings over. We can get the rings to have the circles inside, even better. Deselect and get the ring circle inside. Double click, and bring them over. There we go. Too bad we didn't get all of them like that to begin with. All good. Grab what we want, control right click to shell. Let's give it a little bit of space here for a moment. And do this toe down here. So this one's going to come over here. I hope I got the right ones that go together. Yeah, that one. Bottom. Oh, I didn't even check. Okay, I'm getting tired. I love UV mapping. I do not love UV mapping. But what the hell? What you gonna do? I love texture mapping and painting. Just about as much as I love sculpting and modeling, so has to be done. We're almost to the point where we don't have to do them anymore. The tools are great. It used to take 10 times longer to do this, believe it or not, so can't complain too much. Let's make sure I got the right middle one for the outer one. I did not. Double click. Yeah, that goes there. And that goes with that one. Not terribly important, but you know, that's clearly the top of the toe. And that's down here is clearly the bottom of the toe, just so we have them kept together. And then bring this one, that's the bottom, that's top, that's the bottom, and that's top. There we go. Bring them over to the side. There we go. All right, there's one. Whoa, don't get those ones on the side over there. Let's interlock them just a little bit. Interlock them a little bit. See, the puzzle part, you know. Try and make it fun. Eh. There's one side done with the feet. And let's see, the legs are over here, right? Yeah. Okay, so the toes are going to go over here in a moment. And I think if we have them facing maybe even downward like that would be the most accurate way. But you can turn things 90 degrees sideways as long as you remember when you're painting where they are. I just want to scale all these together for sure. So we'll go this way with it, and we'll do this one first. So one, this one last, two. Bring both these down. There's the upper. That one's the lower. There we go. Middle toe. Oh, oops. Make sure I get all of them. Upper toe. Cool. Lower upper toe. And the last one. Make sure you get them all, just like the Pokemon. And upper, lower. And you can make your own decision if it matters how much information you need to know. Depends on how much texture painting you want to do for your modeling. So if you want to do a ton of professional job detailing texturing, you got to have good UVs. It goes without saying. And people like to see them. Sometimes the modelers do UV mapping, so you want to be competent at it. So there we go. So that's the lineup now for the toes. Grab all the toes compared to the foot. Right foot, left foot, and do that. And let's scale them all down, down, down. Am I grabbing a piece of the foot here on accident? Oh, I am. How in the hell did that happen? Yeah. You got to be careful and methodical at the same time. And I believe the fingers of the hands are probably, all of these are still too big. So that's why I use the control right click to shell a lot and make sure that I'm getting everything. So I'm not accidentally screwing that up. There we go. So there's all the arms. Next to all the legs. Take all these away. And there we go. Oh, missed a piece up there. Grab these ones to shell, and maybe we could do that with it. There we go. And then as you get to the border edge here now, this is where you really start to make some tougher choices as to where you want to put all this stuff. There we go. And make sure you don't have any wasted pixel space. We'll kind of shove some stuff in there in a bit. Let's get these last pieces done. So I'll grab all the rest of this stuff. So we know the chest is good. There we go. So that's all just that one single cogwheel, right? We know the head and the hat are good. So the hat's up here. Oh, that's torso. Head, hat, and eyeballs. You can always isolate selection again, just to be 100% sure. There's the cap of the hat. That was way too big. Checking the UVs are in the right direction. Nothing's backwards in there. And once we're satisfied, go way, way down with it. Bring it over closer. And now we can grab the rest of this, control right click to shell, and now we can double check faces in the right direction, the eyeballs in the right direction. I don't think they are. Yeah, I missed this eyeball. Shift right click, flip it. There we go. And the numbers are going in the right direction. See how easy it is to miss? Like, whoa, whoopsie. Almost missed that one. But I do want to put some detailed stuff in the eyes. Eyes are really fun on a character. So I'll leave these to the side and squeeze them in, make them a little bit bigger. The rest of this, the head and the hat also have pretty good size, but I'll save them for a minute. And where's the neck? There's the neck and the torso. There we go. Let's bring neck and torso. Align the neck up to the top. There's the torso. Looks like it's sideways. We can bring it around so that the writing is right side up, so we know that is kind of where the top of the ridge right here. There's the shoulder, there's the front, and then there's the part that goes down below. Neck right there. And you have all this part down here. Goes around, and I don't know how that got so dang big. There we go. And scale it way down so that it's the right side. Let's see it's going in the right direction. Grab all those pieces and oops, all of this as well. There's the back. Turn that off for just a moment. You can see. There we go. Yep. Pretty cool. Anything backwards? Nope. Looks like the 4 is in the right location. And in the front, if we move these around, we can see 100. Yes, we're good. U4. Okay, cool. Very good. I usually do the back to the left and the so back to front. Something along those lines. And then these little pieces can definitely fit up in these gaps that you're going to have between circular portions. You'll always have a gap in there to fill. So same thing in here. So anywhere there's an arc, right, you'll have a little gap. And there's the cap for the top of the neck, which, you know, could even fit it down in there. We'll leave it. And where is that one? Oh, it's the bottom of the hat. I missed that. So that goes over here. And in case the hat, I was going to make the hat equipable, which is a separate piece, so bring that on later. That should be good. There's the cogs for the shoulders, shoulder socket, as well as the scapula. Make sure I flipped them. I did. Forgotten at this point which ones I have and which ones I haven't, so definitely double and triple checking everything as I go. This should be good. And let's see where these ones go. Ah, it's the heart cog. Big one in the middle. Yeah. Separate from these pieces here. So let's take this one. It's a bit of a long strip. It can be problematic, so I'll just cut that and take this piece here and stack it a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but just making sure we're optimizing the space as much as possible. And that's the front. So again, back to front. And there's a side, maybe pack that in over here. There we go. For now. Cogs on the shoulder. And there's the eyeballs. Leave those to last. There's the cogs on the hat. This is also pretty problematic, so I'll take some of these edges, maybe there and there, cut them and stack them a little better. There we go. Don't need those giant long strips for something like that. It's a little wasteful. Between each area of the cog teeth where the edge is, that's where you're going to have the UV seams. So, and then maybe these will fit better diagonal, maybe they'll fit better or vertical, maybe they'll fit better horizontal. So we'll wait a minute on that. The face is going to be pretty good size. Wants to do some detail in the face. So I'll save the face with the eyes for now. So that's the eyes and the face right there. And then this is the hat. by itself. So let's take the hat and let's scale it down, down, down. You see the teeth on the tips up here, definitely. All these little guys right here, maybe they're too big. And so let's scale them down. Don't need to be that big. And then all of these other teeth cogs right here could also be smaller in proportion. So all these little bits don't need a ton of UV space, most likely. But we also don't want distortion to happen, so we're just being careful. And then this is the top of the cap right here. And we could thrust that in here and fit it, even though it's not where it goes. It's a nice place to put it. And yeah, almost there. Bring in these arcs, see if I can fit things inside the arc a little better. See if I can get the tines to the teeth to go. Interlock a little bit. That usually saves some space as well. And there we go. Bring these little bits over here. There we go. There's a little spot right there for them. And these little guys right here can maybe fit better over there. And there we go. Making sure they're not touching, because these ones I remember earlier were touching and I just kind of glossed over, and you have to be careful when you do the normal maps and stuff. You'll see why. So a little manual arranging. Nothing fancy, just making sure everything's got its own little space. And when I double click, it should be grabbing the whole shell. I think I might be moving it in my second click, so just be careful. That's why I usually switch to Q, my selection tool, make sure that I'm selecting something so I don't accidentally move it on accident. There we go, this one here. Looks like we're okay. If they're too big or too small. Looks like they're fine. Yeah, I'll tuck this over here. And then maybe this little piece will fit. Almost. Not quite. Darn. There we go. Good enough. There's the hat. And bring the hat down here and then scale it way down so it fits in there. Grab all this mess here for the shoulders. We double checked everything's good, so scale it way down. Bring it up here. Torso, it's right there. Torso and the neck. Scale down. There we go. Everything's starting to look about the right pixels, checker size, getting there. Of course, the face and the eyes are still huge, but we did that on purpose, right? We want them to have the most UV space. So as we go down, bring them into the equation. So I've kind of arranged everything by quadrant. This is pretty standard. So you want to have different socketed pieces. So the shoulder, the hat is a gear item. I could separate that completely and bring it in as a separate item, as a wearable. Maybe we swap it out. There's the face. There's the torso. Probably could be bigger in relation. There is all of the arms. The arms got a pretty good chunk of space. He's got long arms, got like monkey proportions a bit. And then here is all of the legs and the pelvic region. So pretty good size. This part right here looks like it got a little bit more space than it's needed, so I can maybe scrunch that down some more. That might help a bit with some of the strange angles. And so now we just got to arrange all these pieces into this 0 to 1 space right here. 0 to 1, 0 to 1. So this square right here, this is where we're going to get the texture map and be able to do some really nice texture painting and substance. So we'll take that out and give it a shot. All right, so I'll do the last packing on the next video.